Fendi, founded in 1925, worth $2.1 billion. Dior, founded in 1949, with stores in 60 countries, worth $2.4 billion. And Skims, founded in 2019 by Kim Kardashian, e-commerce only, worth $3.2 billion. This is the story of Kim Kardashian's Skims and the PR nightmare that made this brand more valuable than some of the most iconic brands in history. But my name's Brandon. I'm an e-commerce entrepreneur, and this is my new YouTube series called This is the Story, where we deep dive into entrepreneurs and their brands. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of the new videos. Let's get right into it. In 2015, Kylie Jenner launched a brand called Kylie Lip Kits. And while this wasn't the first product brand that a Kardashian or Jenner had come up with, it was the first product brand that was not part of a larger licensing deal. Kylie owned it, designed it, and executed the entire thing with the help of a team, of course, but it was not part of another deal or another brand. But within minutes of Kylie launching this brand, she sold $250,000 worth of merchandise and completely sold out. And this was the moment that the Kardashians and Jenners knew that they were onto something and that they could have self-owned businesses that did not need to be part of a larger licensing deal, and they could keep 100% of the money. This led Khloe Kardashian to start her own brand. And this piqued the interest of Khloe Kardashian, Kylie Jenner's older sister. But this time she knew that she needed a co-founder. But this piqued the interest of Kylie Jenner's older sister, Khloe. And Khloe knew that she could do something with this, so she launched a denim wear line. But she did so with the help of a co-founder whose name is Emma Grady. And now Emma and her husband Jens actually have a really extensive background in product design and executing brands that make an exit. So it just seemed like a perfect fit. And 11 months after Kylie launched her brand, Emma and Khloe launched Good American Denim. But they had their sights set high. They wanted to make it big, and bigger than anybody had ever done. So they wanted to sell the most denim on the launch day of any brand in the history of the world. Their goal was to sell $1 million worth of denim on the first day. A goal that seemed almost impossible because no other brand in history had ever been able to do this. But with Emma's extensive business background and Khloe's massive audience, they did it. And on the first day of Good American, they sold $1 million worth of denim. And it was this moment that would change the Kardashians' brand forever. Now, cue Kim Kardashian, Kylie and Khloe's older sister, who catapulted the family into fame during the early 2000s. She was a socialite turned TV personality who was the queen of licensing deals. But following her sister Kylie and Khloe's success, Kim was so inspired by her younger sisters that from 2016 to 2018, she tried her hand in a couple of her self-owned brands. One, KKW Beauty and KKW Fragrance, which were both wildly successful in their own right. I mean, they both landed up in Ulta, and in 2020, Kim actually sold 20% of the company for $200 million to Coty, who is the conglomerate that bought a majority stake of Kylie Cosmetics the year prior. And that led to the whole Forbes scandal with Kylie, but that's a story for another video. But let's take it back to early 2019. Kim and Emma approached each other about starting a new brand. They wanted to take on a new industry that was not cosmetics. But they wanted to set some records like Good American again. But they wanted to do it bigger, better, and louder. So they got to work. They needed something that was easy for Kim to promote on her social media and something that her audience would absolutely eat up. So they thought of shapewear. Kim had been a mad proponent for shapewear her entire career, and she had talked about it openly with her audience, so it seemed like a perfect fit. So, with Emma's blitzing history in the fashion industry and Kim's awesome, amazing, huge audience, they came up with the perfect storm. They planned to launch a shapewear line with 27 different styles, 7 skin tone matching colors, and a size range that would be bigger than any other brand had ever done before. And on June 25th, 2019, Kim took to social media and announced her new brand, Kimono, a solution wear brand that was absolutely inclusive of all colors, sizes, and humans. But within hours, the internet was shaking. Kim Kardashian was being called out from everybody for the name choice. Everybody was saying it was cultural appropriation because of kimono, the ancient Japanese wear. It got so bad that even Japanese political figures were begging with Kim to actually change the name of the brand. And I believe that it was within these first couple of hours of backlash that Kim knew that she was going to change the brand's name. But being the massive PR machine and geniuses that they are, she knew just a perfect way to play this, so was going to launch this brand into one of the most valuable brands in the history of the world. They knew they needed to play this out and then eventually flip the script and make everybody want the brand. But while tensions were heating up and everybody was begging and pleading with Kim to change the name of her brand, she stayed quiet. And 2 days later, with a stroke of pure PR genius, Kim took to the internet to address the rumors. And on June 28th, 2019, Kim took to the internet to defend the choice of the name. Now, coming from a PR and marketing stance, I believe that this statement was made to make the internet louder, to get more reach, and to kind of piss people off. But deep down, they actually knew they were going to change the brand's name. They were just trying to make this go as far as they could so that they could have a plan to flip the script. Basically, they were just pouring gasoline on a fire. Because you know what they say, all PR is good PR. And it worked. Every tabloid, every business journal, and every news source around the world was talking about Kim Kardashian's new brand, Kimono. Now, it wasn't for the right reasons, but within that first week, Kimono, Kim Kardashian's shapewear line, was already a household name, which is a perfect place to be when you're launching a brand. But after a couple more days of letting the internet buzz, people get madder and madder, and making this brand actually go viral, Kim took to the internet once more. And this time, she addressed the backlash, but she did so in an emotional way that made us all kind of feel bad for her. And she said, "I'm going to change the name." And then she showed proof that all of the products had already been branded with Kimono, and she showed how she was going to change it and cover the name. And it kind of made us be like, wow, she's actually going the extra mile and she cares. And she's changing the name because we asked her to. And it was within that first day that collectively around the world, people forgave Kim and they were ready to actually try out the brand. One, because the name had been changed, and two, because the internet had already been buzzing about the products. So they pushed the brand launch back 2 months, and from July 2019 and August 2019, they spent that time doing some damage control, changing everybody's opinion, and building their email and text list, so that when they did launch the new brand, they were ready to go 100%. On September 10th, 2019, Kim Kardashian launched Skims. They had records to hit, and they had a number in mind. But within the first couple minutes of the brand being live, they sold $2 million worth of inventory, one of the largest e-commerce launches in history. And their plan worked. Emma and her husband had effectively launched a brand that was bigger than anything they had ever done, and Kim Kardashian had once again outbeat her sisters on a self-owned business launch. So they basically used a PR nightmare, which was basically out of their control, to catapult one of the most valuable brands in history. Now, while this would have sunk most entrepreneurs because they would not have known where to go or had the capital to change the brand name, this just goes to show you how effective good PR can be. And of course, the brand growing to $3.1 billion in valuation is not solely due to the fact of the backlash, but it did play a part in catapulting the brand and giving them a launchpad to actually get to that number. Because following year was 2020, so they were able to pivot from solution wear into loungewear, which was all the rage, and you know the history. But what are your thoughts? Do you think that Kim Kardashian effectively used this PR move to catapult her brand? Or do you think this was all just a complete accident and the stars just aligned perfectly for this brand? Let me know down in the comments. But if you want to hear more about entrepreneur stories and all things business, my name's Brandon. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. And I'll see you in the next video.